Hi, I'm David Barnett. You might know me as the award-winning media analyst who's just been sacked from his job. But while a lesser man might consider an unexpected redundancy at the onset of early middle age to be some kind of drawback or hindrance in life, I, in my customary optimistic fashion, see it as an exciting new dawn of golden opportunity. And much like a one-man Brexit, foresee no possible difficulties or hurdles or pitfalls ahead. I'm speaking to you today from Holly Village, the collection of small, beautiful neo-Gothic cottages that were bequeathed to the servants of Angela Burdett Coutts, the philanthropist and lesbian of the Victorian era. Now, Holly Village also featured in the film The Great Rock and Roll Swindle, the fictional account of the rise and fall of those four lovable spiky tops, the Sex Pistols. In the film, Malcolm McLaren can be seen having a bath and then chased by guitarist Steve Jones, who ends up meeting Johnny Rotten's singing teacher, Tona de Brett. What you might not know is that while Tona de Brett didn't actually live in Holly Village, she does still live in this area of London Highgate. And as well as being Johnny Rotten's singing teacher, Tona de Brett has also taught a wide array of celebrated pop stars and singers, including Seal, George Michael, Brett Anderson out of Suede, and my humble self. Welcome to another episode of David Barnett's Great British. Hi. Now, regular viewers of David Barnett's Great British Parkrun journeys will be familiar with joining me on many a rail journey across the British Isles. But the rail journey we're making today is rather different. I'm standing on the tracks of Stroud Green Station. How can that possibly be, David? Surely that would contravene some of Network Rail's regulations. Well, I might shock you here, but Stroud Green Station is an abandoned station. It no longer exists, but merely as a kind of ghost of its once glorious past. You can see the abandoned platforms still there at either side of the rail tracks. This railway line was once part of the planned Northern Heights, which was to link up various northernly points of London, but the project was abandoned due to the onset of the Second World War. Originally, this line connected Alexandra Palace with Finsbury Park. And it's Finsbury Park that I'd like you to join me today in today's Great British Parkrun journey. Finsbury Park, interestingly, nowhere near Finsbury. It was created when the people of Finsbury said, "Can we have a park, please? It's very polluted and urbanised down here in Finsbury." And the local authorities said, "Well, there isn't any room here. How about we do one up in Hornsey Wood?" And that is in fact how it happened. Finsbury Park, famous for Finsbury Park, where the Sex Pistols played their reunion gig Filthy Lucre in 1996, some 20 years after saying that they would die before they were 20. So, join me now as I better get my skates on and we head to Finsbury Park. See you after the break. Bye-bye. Hi, I'm David Barnett, talking to you from the finish line at Finsbury Park Parkrun. and you can still see many in fact, of the amateur fun runners finishing some way behind me there. It's a beautiful sunny April morning in Finsbury Park. If anything, I'm overdressed for it. Finsbury Park is a course I'm very familiar with. However, I've not been here for some time, so it's very nice to revisit. The fair is in town today, which means there has been a slight diversion to the course, and that unfamiliarity, coupled with the rather brutal hill at the end of each lap, probably cost me a few vital minutes. Nevertheless, it's the taking part that counts, and I've certainly taken part. I hope you've enjoyed joining me in today's parkrun journey. And now, in something of a first for David Barnett's Great British Parkrun Journeys, I'm very pleased to bring you live by satellite link-up another parkrunner at another parkrun who's having a word with some of these, to bring you live by satellite
yes,
link
David,
up
although
another parkrunner.
I don't think they'll be running that event any longer. You probably know me as an analyst who can recognize when people are being overcharged for photocopying credit, but I'm also an encourager, a life coach, if you will, and I'm here with a couple of parkrun virgins who came very close to finishing last this week at Hackney Marshes. Here they are. So, tell me a little bit about your training regime. How did you prepare for this this event?
So last night I drank 3/4, of a bottle of red wine. I always feel that makes me go faster when I'm running. And probably about 10 or so cigarettes before. I feel it opens up the lungs.
Yeah, probably puts a good healthy lining on the protective lining on the lungs.
Yes.
How about you? I noticed you finished slightly before your chain-smoking alcoholic sister here.
Just a very large meal. Went to bed very late. Or early. We are thinking now that we've done this to set up maybe like a blog about health and fitness.
So there you have it. Ciara McNamee, an inspiration to athletes everywhere.
Thank you.
Back to you, David.
Yeah, thanks very much, Kieran. Fascinating stuff, and I think goes to show just how inclusive parkrun is. I hope you've enjoyed this week's episode of David Barnett's Great British Parkrun Journeys. Until next time, bye-bye. And as I say, have just lost my job, so if you need any media analysing, I think you'll find my rates are highly competitive. Until next time, bye-bye.
To us. Helen! I don't believe it. It's fantastic. That's so wonderful.